Good morning, everybody. I am Deb Coviello from Illumination Partners and the Drop-In CEO, and welcome to another time up with us on the Drop-In CEO Live Talk Media, where I have an amazing guest, Bruce Turkel. Welcome to the conversation today.
Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here.
So I wanted to bring you on, and just for those of you who don't know Bruce, and I guess many people know Bruce, but he is an amazing business leader in marketing. He's worked with some amazing brands, including Hasbro, Nike, American Express, many, many more. And also he was a guest on episode 79 of the Drop-In CEO podcast. So if you want to hear more about Bruce after this, please check out the podcast. And finally, he is a Hall of Famer in the National Speakers Association. So I am excited to talk to him because this week's theme is about keeping company with the people that you want to be like, to be able to raise your performance, your career, or what you're doing. And last week we talked about being uncomfortable or being comfortable with the uncomfortable. So this is about me stretching, me going outside my comfort zone, and I am looking forward to this. So Bruce, so first of all, thank you for coming on again today. And I would love for you to just share a little bit about becoming a Hall of Famer in the National Speakers Association, because I aspire to do something very similar.
Well, the nice thing about winning that award is it's not something you apply for. It's a peer given award. So it means you have to develop some degree of expertise, notoriety, infamy, I don't know what, within the organization. But it's not like you say, hey, I'm going to go out and win that. And therefore, you have certain hoops you have to jump through. That's what excited me about it. This is other speakers and other people who've seen me do what I do saying, hey, this guy belongs here. But that also, I think, gives a really good recommendation of how you make this happen, which is you need to be visible. If you're sitting home waiting for things to happen, well, A, they're not going to, and B, no one's going to know about you. So I joined the organization. I got involved in the organization. I stepped up to different committees that I was interested in. I actually had a major faux pas in the organization, something that I recommended that I thought we were moving forward with that caused some bureaucrat, it doesn't matter what, but caused a little bit of a bureaucratic flap. I would have thought that would have nixed my opportunities. But in fact, what it did was it raised my visibility. People said, wow, look what that guy came up with. All right, it didn't get used for whatever reason, but they all knew who I was. They all knew what I did. They all knew, I think, my commitment to the organization. And in fact, it became a really valuable lesson in how you develop some degree of notoriety, of infamy, of fame, of celebrity with a small c for yourself, which is what gives you these opportunities.
So very important nugget that came out of that was just, first of all, taking a risk and putting yourself out there to be more visible. So if you haven't pushed the button and done a video on social media, haven't joined a group and taken a leadership position, it's about being visible and just trusting yourself, regardless of the outcome. But I'm curious, you're a talented speaker. How did you develop such skills? Is it something that you naturally were at, or did you have to go, I don't know, somebody you had a bad moment and you said, that's never going to happen to me again, because I just want to learn a little bit.
So let me disabuse you of the notion of natural speakers. Okay. I was not a natural speaker. I was actually terrified to speak in public, like most people are. Nobody is a natural speaker. Yeah, someone might have talent to be a good speaker, but that's like saying, oh, you are a natural guitar player or you are a natural surgeon. No, you weren't. You started to study it. You learned about it. It turned out you had talents and you had abilities that you were able to hone. But you know what they say, potential without work equals nothing. You could be, I to stay in shape, and as a pastime, I run marathons, but I'm not fast. I can train, I can work at it. I get a little faster, but I don't have a natural talent for it, but I get better at it. I would say it's the same with speaking. Because we all talk, we all believe we can speak. It's not the same thing. And so, as I tell everybody who says to me, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to be a professional speaker. I want to be a great speaker. It's a very simple line. If you want to speak more, speak more. Go out and do it. every chance you get. Speak at your church, your mosque, your synagogue, your service club, your kids' school, your alma mater. Speak everywhere you can. I have read every book on public speaking. I watch speakers as often as I can. I watch a lot of politicians because politicians by nature tend to be good communicators. Not all of them, but many of them do. And I try to rise up to 50,000 feet where I am not evaluating whether what they're saying is in line with what I believe, which is how most people look at politicians. Oh, I love that person. Or, oh my God, I hate that person. And I may feel that way, but I try to rise above to watch what they do, to see what I can learn. What do I want to do better? And what would I never do when I'm on stage? But the bottom line is it's like any other skill, talent, ability. You need to practice, practice, practice.
And study the best of what you can find or you deem better. Just one more thing before we switch gears here, but was there ever a pivotal moment where, yes, you've been speaking, but then you became a speaker? Was there a shift or a change in your performance?
I didn't realize I was becoming a speaker. I had written an article for a magazine years ago,
Okay.
And they asked me if I would come speak at their annual conference because they liked the subject matter that I was providing. And I said I would. And my wife went with me. She actually was up all night sick to her stomach because she was so nervous. I wasn't actually that nervous. But I was invited back 4 or 5 years in a row to speak at this conference. So I was doing the work. And in the meantime, I was learning how to do it. I think when you really learn to be a speaker is when you bomb. And that's the other thing. People say to me, I've been speaking, I've been doing all this, I'm ready, I'm really good, I'm ready now to turn this into a real business. I go, great, tell me about the last time you bombed. And they say, oh, I've never bombed. I beg your pardon? No, I've never bombed. I'm really good. Okay, if you've never bombed, you're not a real speaker because there's so many things that can go wrong. There's so many moving parts. A lot of things are completely outside your control. The speaker before you was the CEO, and he just told everybody that at the end of the conference, they're going to be laying off 30% of the workers. I don't care how amusing you are, you're going to bomb. The AC goes off in the middle of your presentation, or the AC is on so strong that it's 4 degrees in the room, or the fire alarm goes off, or the audio visual goes off. I was speaking in front of 3,000 people, and they insisted that I use, Keynote, PowerPoint, and it stopped working. And I had tied my whole talk into what would be up there, and it wouldn't work. It was so bad that the little monitor, you in the audience don't see it, but it faces the speaker, so you know what's up behind you. The guy in the booth put on the monitor, sorry, dude, I don't know what's wrong. I mean, until those things happen, those things are all outside your control. Then there's all the things that are your fault, like you forget your lines. You're telling jokes and they're not funny. You say something stupid. You say something offensive. You get something caught in your throat. You have an allergy attack. There's a million things that can happen. I'm not saying they will. I'm not trying to scare anybody. But the point is, you become a professional, not when you get good at what you do. There's lots of people who are good at what they do. You become a professional when you can deal with whatever happens. And after a few of those experiences, when you say, okay, I got this, that's when you know.
All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I love this advice when it comes to trying to keep company with those you want to be like. Thank you for that insight about it, speaking. I think for me, the lesson learned, and again, I'm getting some live coaching right here, is that there's no magic bullet. You got to put in the hard work. You got to believe in yourself. You got to have a good product. Take the lumps and bumps. There's a lot of gems and treasures in that. And then you're just going to know when, like you said, I got this.
I will tell you, though, you said there's no magic bullet. There can be.
Okay.
That's the other question. People say to me, how do I become a successful speaker? Oh, it's easy. All you have to do is land an airplane with 150 people in it in the Hudson River, and everybody survives. Captain Sullenberg was the most successful speaker in the country the next week. And then, by the way, they made a movie of his life, and Tom Hanks played it.
I know.
So you go do that. There's your magic bullet. When Oprah was on, if you got on the Oprah show and she said, your book, Deb, is the most amazing book I've ever read, it's changed my life, guess what? The next day, you were a very successful speaker. So there are ways that you can do that, but I wouldn't count on it. It's kind of like saying, yeah, I have a retirement plan. Every week I buy lottery tickets. You know, you might hit.
You never know. You never know when that magic bullet's going to hit.
But I wouldn't count on it.
Okay, sound advice. Now, let's just talk a little bit more about what you do, because I think what you do is help bring leaders together, great minds, in order to bring great people together, but the collective to elevate them. So I think you actually do something right now that is meant to elevate leaders in terms of putting them in a great situation.
That's right. For the people who don't know, and I don't know why they would, I ran an ad agency and a design firm for a number of years. We had quite a lot of large international clients. We had offices here and in Latin America. And I sold it 4 years ago. And I was going to spend my time writing a new book and speaking and consulting and doing that sort of thing. But what I found was everything that we learned working with these big clients was directly translatable to all of the people I was running into who were trying to figure out how they could find certainty in such an uncertain world, how they could figure out what to do next, how they could figure out how to not only pursue their dreams, but reach their goals. All of these tools, talents, tips, and techniques that we used in the corporate world for big companies work for smaller companies and work for individuals. I didn't know that. And so I started applying these things, and people were kind of stunned. It was like, why didn't I ever learn this? And, you know, a lot of it had to do with marketing and communications. I have a design degree. I never learned it in school. I didn't learn it till I started working with these big companies. And so I've taken all of that and I've put it into a program, a very clear curriculum where we work in small groups. We set up mentoring opportunities. We set up accountability partner opportunities, meaning people that you count on and trust to help you accomplish what you want to accomplish while you help them. We have groups of 10 to 12 people, and we share three things. We share our contacts. So not only is it a matter of who I know, but it's who the people I know. Deb, how did I get on your show the first time? Well, a very good mutual friend mentioned to you, hey, maybe you should talk to Bruce. Yes. I didn't know you, but I knew Dave and you knew Dave. Mm-hmm. Contacts are hugely important if you're willing to share. You know, you say you need to accomplish something and I say, I know a guy, or I know a woman who can help you. Let me make the phone call for you. Okay, so contacts, we share skill sets. Oh, I know how to do that. Oh, that's easy. If I decide I want to use this software to do my own podcast, I could go try to figure it out. Or now I can call you and you'll say, yeah, let me show you what I learned. Let me show you what I did wrong. Let me show you what I like. Let me show you what I don't like, so on and so forth. And we share experiences. Because let's face it, most of our wisdom comes from our experiences, things that we had that happened to us, good and mostly bad, books we've read, things we've done. Well, what if you could expand that to a bigger group of people who cared about you and cared about helping you, and in return, you cared about them and cared about helping them. It's all about building relationships. It's all about knowing what you want. So you not only know what to ask for, but you know who to ask to get the help you need. And then it's about surrounding yourself with the kinds of people that are there to help. There's no quid pro quo. It's not a matter of pay it forward. It's more a matter of here's what I can offer. Here's what I'm willing to do. Here's what I'm looking for. Let's see how we can help each other. So we've done these now. I've done them now for the last year. What I have learned is that in cold times, which is what we're in right now, what we need more than anything is warm relationships. And so that's what we do. It's called CE Only. See, that's a little cute little pun, CEO Only. It's for CEOs or C-suite people, business owners, and entrepreneurs. And if you're interested, it's the website's the same thing. It's ceonly.me because it's all about you, right? So ceonly.me, and it explains the whole thing. And that's what I'm doing.
All right, that's amazing. And that's exactly why I wanted to bring you on, because we do need to surround ourselves with people, form those relationships, share the best of what we have in order to be able to figure things out quicker and raise our game, our career, our business, et cetera. So I know people are going to want to connect with you. If they don't already know Bruce, how can they best connect with you to learn more?
Well, they can do it there, but if the other easy way is my email is just my name. It's Bruce at bruceturkel.com. And my website is just my name, bruceturkel.com. And there's Contact Bruce. And guess what? If you contact me, I get the email. If you call the number, it rings on my cell phone. So if you want to talk with me, if you want to chat with me, if you have an idea, if you want to explore something, I'm there. Reach out. You can find me on social media, of course, but all those ways. But just use my name, Bruce Turkel, 1L, Turkel.com.
All right, this is amazing. I'm excited. I love having these conversations. I love the people that join us, watch these videos to learn and potentially raise their game as well. If you really like this, please join me next week on another episode of the Drop-In CEO Live Talk meeting where I bring another amazing guest. If you really like this, I have other offers. My Drop-In CEO podcast, you can find it on any platform. Subscribe, rate, and review. It's amazing free content. And if you love that as well, I also have the Human-Centric Leadership Academy, where I invite people in to elevate their essential skills so they can get ahead in their career. Bruce, you've been amazing. Wish you continued success, and thank you so much for your time.
I love being here. It's a delight to talk to you. The only disappointment I have is that I have to look at the camera to make eye contact, and I don't get to see your smiling face, which is on my monitor right there. But as soon as we're off the air, then I'm going to be looking at you, not the camera. Thank you very much. This was great fun.
Amazing. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.